You guys wouldn't want to see me refereeing, I'll tell you that.
Yes, we would.
No,
yes,
you wouldn't.
They say you're retiring, but you're going to come back as a ref. That's what I heard.
I'm coming back as a trainer. Oh, yeah. Rangers will be going, where's our equipment?
You've never worked so hard in your life.
Oh, please.
Welcome back to Maple Leaf America, inside the officials' dressing room at Madison Square Garden with 33-year vet Ray Scampanella. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Appreciate you taking time out for this program.
It's no problem disrupting our
Your psyche, your karma.
our time.
On the ice and off, we're going to get a little lifestyle look at you. You know, your rock star lifestyle on the road, right?
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's get this thing started.
No, come on, Carnegie. No, he didn't do anything. You don't do anything either. Way to go.
Box, Eric.
Way to go, buddy. Eric! No, don't get involved here. Watch who you're shoving. Watch who you're shoving! Watch who you're shoving, bud. Let's go in the box to clean this up, okay? Don't step out of the box, Eric. Hold it. Eric! Seriously. Come on. Stop that. Just stop. Let's just get this game over with.
They're bigger, they're faster, and they're stronger. And they train 12 months a year. In the 70s, you used to go to training camp to get in shape. Now, I mean, these athletes, and plus the officials, train 12 months a year. They're just, Clark Gillies, a great player for the Islanders who's in the Hall of Fame now. I mean, Clark used to be a big man back then, and you know, now he would be average. They are, you know, they just, the equipment's lighter, the sticks are better, they just fly.
Scampy's no slouch himself. At age 57, the future Hall of Famer still times out as one of the NHL's fastest officials.
I know, it's always funny to see Ray skating because everybody says, oh man, he goes fast, and I always tease him, I say, your legs are moving fast, but you're not really going that fast. So it's kind of funny, I always joke with him like that. And he's fun on the ice because he does talk, and he's into it, and he's loose, and it's fun to work with guys like that for sure.
He's not throwing any punches, no cheap shots. No cheap shots, Pure.
As for stature, well, Ray's always been shorter than everyone else, regardless of the era.
He's got all kinds of tricks. I mean, the guy's got bigger, but he's got a big heart, and he knows how to take care of what he's got to take care of.
Come on, Peter, let's go.
I will, don't worry. Maybe not tonight, but I will.
The respect he gets on the ice is unbelievable, just unbelievable. He can talk to guys and settle a lot of things down that needs to be settled down just because of his experience. And it's fun to be out there with guys like that, obviously. And it makes our job a little bit easier when it really does get tough out there.
Let him take the minor.
Scampy began figuring it all out back in the late 60s. His junior C playing career ended at age 20. He was able to stay involved on ice when a mentor invited him to become an official for local games in Guelph. Eventually, he joined the Ontario Hockey Association, and positive reviews led to weekend games in the American Hockey League.
From there, I got invited to an NHL rookie camp where about 50 who they thought were pretty good officials went to a camp. And from that camp, they invited 5 or 6 guys to the National Hockey League camp. And from that camp, I got invited to the NHL camp, and I got hired.
And for more than 3 decades, he's been zipping back and forth along the boards, cruising, calling, and controlling.
Hey, Bobby, you got a power play. You got a power play, boys.
Penalty, Scatzer.
No problem.
For what?
Got a power play, Bob.
What? You guy pushed right in. I'm trying to score a goal. Yeah, right.
Hey, tell him that if I'm going to run the goalie while we have the power play, he's got another thing coming.
He's also a master of self-preservation. He's never missed a game.
Oh, no! Oh, jeez.
His best pirouettes and jumps occur when trying to avoid damage.
Ray's quickness and his ability to get in quickly has saved, obviously, some bumps and bruises, but I don't think that people realize how many times you do get hit that, I mean, you're not going to tell anybody or complain to anybody because that's part of the job description is getting bumped and banged the odd time. So I think the worst place, though, is along the boards when the players shoot it in hard and they have their head down and they just drive it. I mean, you're at their mercy. And his quickness and his ability to avoid the puck has obviously saved him some serious injury that other people perhaps have sustained over the years.
Whoa, whoa! Oh, Rich, jeez.
The biggest physical challenge for linesmen, cooling tempers, breaking up combatants, especially back in the days of old-time hockey, old-time line brawls.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. There was a lot of them in the 70s. It was interesting hockey. It was interesting. Oh, the Flyers in the 70s were fearless. I mean, they just, they were such a successful franchise that they didn't really concern themselves with taking penalties. They would just kill them off. So, I mean, if they were taking penalties, getting scored on every time, Mr. Shiro would have changed their tactics, but he didn't have to. They were an interesting squad.
Fight protocol hasn't changed.
Usually 3 criteria before we break up a fight. If they're evenly matched, we'll allow them to fight. If they fall to the ice, we break it up immediately. And if one guy is getting a distinct advantage, we'll break it up immediately. But the guys that do some fighting, they have just a mutual respect for one another. They'll get their licks in, and then basically they'll stop on their own. I mean, it happens constantly.
Might want to reconsider how you approach these guys. You're going to end up short. But you're going to end up short-handed in a 1-1 hockey game. I don't think you want to do that, okay?
Puritan the other night along with Cairns. I mean, it was quite obvious Puritan wanted a piece of Cairns, but Cairns chose not to fight. Puritan got 4 minutes. Cairns got 2, got the 2-minute advantage, but Puritan realized that the Cairns didn't want to fight, and he didn't. He could have started wailing away, but he chose not to. Which they have a mutual respect for one another. It's really unique.
Yet another beautiful night here in the state of Michigan. We're going local this time. We went from Saginaw Bay on Lake Huron. Now we're Thompson Lake and Howell, right in Timmy's neck of the woods. Timmy, you were a little disappointed last night, I know, with the weather conditions.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was taken by surprise by that wind.
Well, this is good.
Yeah, hopefully we can get something tonight.
Calm, variable, light, shallow. See what happens. Timmy, is this the kind of clarity that you were expecting to see last night?
Yeah, actually not even this good.
Well,
this is exceptional right here.
But something closer to this compared to what we had, which was thick. Here, carpy, carpy, carpy. Here, carpy, carpy, carpy.
There's the pike right there.
Look at the size of that pike, John, right there next to the boat. Look at that guy. Oh.
But the idea here is to shoot non-indigenous bottom feeders like carp and gar, ugly invaders which destroy the natural underwater habitat.
Oh, how did I miss that?
Where'd he go?
Didn't it look like the arrow went right through him?
Went a little bit under him. Get him?
No.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? That was a beast.
Come on.
Timmy was a little cool at first, but he'd heat up.
Got him.
Got him.
Whoa. Rob, keep your eye open for other ones.
I'm pulling this baby in. I was trying to double team that.
Yeah, I know. Took me a second to figure out which one got him, actually.
Figure what the heck's the first time we tried it. Look at that ugly bugger. They basically eat things that you want your sport fish to be eating, right?
Yeah, well, they eat algae. They eat everything.
They eat everything?
But they eat, like, stuff that bait fish eat, so then there's not as much bait fish. Hey, watch for this.
Wow. Got him.
Did I?
Nice. Yeah, you're right on top. You nailed him. I could have. You know what? Yeah, you did.
I got him.
Right through the top.
I brained him.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fight going on there,
Whoa.
boys.
Oh, there goes the generator. Heads up.
That might be the last shot.
Yep. Back on the Biscuit in Windsor, Nova Scotia on the Long Pond, which sits on the Dill family farm. Now the Dills are the folks we referenced off the top. Huge pumpkin growers, huge Bruins fans. But we start with the history lesson.
This all came out of the pond.
This is a skate blade. How do you know this didn't? Why don't you check this out and see if this isn't dated to 1800? Huh? Good, very easily. These could be 200 years old.
Yeah.
Quebec, Ontario, and Nova Scotia have all made claims to being the birthplace of hockey in some way, shape, or form during the 19th century. Nova Scotia, however, seems to have the goods, actual physical and literary evidence of the origins of the game, played on Long Pond as early as 1800. There's a lot of history behind this pond. It's the oldest documented site of hockey first played in Canada by the boys at King's Edge Hill School, which is actually one of the oldest private schools in Canada.
In 1988, the historians were doing the research for the 200th anniversary of the school. And that's when they came upon the evidence showing, telling about the boys playing the game of hurley back on Long Pond. Me being a hockey fan that I was, I grew up thinking the game of hockey started in Kingston. I said, that turned out to be the biggest myth, that we ever had and never heard. And I said, and of course now you see Montreal laying a little claim to the birthplace of hockey in 1875, which is 75 years behind Windsor and the boys at the school back at Long Pond. So the evidence surely point to Nova Scotia and particularly Windsor, where the game of hockey originated.
And back in the early 1800s, there was documentation and books talking about the boys playing hurley in Long Pond, and they even had one account of one player having his front teeth knocked out back here. So I think it could have been hockey's first injury too. All early hockey claims, regardless of location, organized hockey or not, involve games featuring players of privilege. Sport in the day was generally played by those who could afford it and had the leisure time to do so. That fact fits right in line with Windsor 200 years ago, including the presence of the highly regarded and exclusive King's College. Windsor, originally they labeled it as the playground for the rich citizens from Halifax who came here in summertime, but there was a lot of farming in the area and gypsum was big. And it still is today, mining gypsum. These days, the Dills mine artifacts. Each year after the thaw, new hockey fossils are churned up.
This was the first rubber puck issued by the Montreal Rubber Company around 1886. Somebody at the school must have purchased one of the first rubber pucks, lost in the pond.
Nova Scotians digging up a hockey heritage which spread across Canada. Montreal, first kind of game with rules, played in a rink, but of course, a man from Nova Scotia, James Creighton, took the game to Montreal, and they played by the Halifax rules, and many consider him the father of hockey. Again, the actual facts about Long Pond's significance weren't uncovered until just 19 years ago in 1988. Since then, however, the research has expanded and new history has been made.
Oh, that was one! Hey!
Of course, Sidney Crosby, growing up here in Nova Scotia, just about an hour here from Windsor. Back in 2002, Ron MacLean, Don Cherry were here to do Hockey Day in Canada, live from Long Pond, and that's when Ron MacLean interviewed Sidney. It was kind of his first national exposure to the country, and I think he was 14 at the time, so the word was out on him. Back with more from the cradle of hockey and scenic Nova Scotia as Rubber Biscuit continues.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth from New Hampshire, and I'm with the Boston Bruins Ice Girls. It's time for your funky stat of the week.
There are 7 current NHL players born in Nova Scotia, including the Bruins' own Glenn Murray. Eric Bolton, John Sim, Murray, Aaron Johnson, Joey McDonald, Colin White, and a guy named Sidney Crosby.
We'll be back with more Rubber Biscuit right after this.